balmy weekend here yesterday. Saturday had 30 to 40 mile an hour winds because it's too warm for this time of year. Yesterday there was no wind and got really, really close to 70. So not bad. You see why the rich winter in Florida and summer in Maine, or at least the Colorado high mountains. The market's sideways overnight. There is a seller above 10 right now. It wasn't strong enough to take out Friday's overnight high, so we're in a trading range. There's no news to speak of. Everybody is hopeful that the new prime minister in Italy, Monti, will be able to form a government, kind of waiting to see what's going on there. The intervention by the European Central Bank has been heavy on Italian paper. They are buying it and supporting the Italian bond market, trying to give them some breathing room. And the Emergency Financial Stabilization Fund, the ECB, when they offered that last week, had to buy some of that paper. So the European Central Bank is doing what the Fed's doing, at least once. Printing money. And that should not be a surprise. I mean, if you think about your own personal situation, when you've let things get out of hand and spent more money than you should have, and you're directly accountable for it and will be held accountable for it. Think about a government spending where a lot of the people who do the spending will not be held accountable for it, or they're the sovereign rulers of a particular nation. So it shouldn't surprise anybody that that governments over the course of history, the natural way to handle prolific spending is to devalue the currencies, and that's what's going on right now. Now the Germans, the Danes, the Austrians, Norwegians won't like it. The Italians, Spaniards, Greeks, Portuguese, etc., won't mind it. I mean, it's what they're being forced to do. So not a lot of news on the docket for today. Probably rumors about how well Monti's government's being formed is what we'll have to put up with. So looking at this structure, you can see the two different schools of thought. Right here's the point of control. And here's the mode, and you can see the mode is right there. So we have pretty good resistance. 8 to 12. Then basically 16 to 20, picking up this area right in here. Now, as strong as the market is, I thought we might have a shot to get into this 12 range, go get stops above Friday's high, and we still may do it, and our overnight high. But if we don't, then the sell band like Friday is going to be 7 to 11. And we'll see how the buying sets up. The attractor is down here at 24. Got a low volume number in this 28 area, so this is pretty good support right here. And if we got a strong market with continued selling in the E-mini, it's going to be hard to take out the buck right here. So depending upon what the E-mini is going to do, Asia was up following Friday's strong buying in the E-mini. The EU and UK are down, which brought in selling to the E-mini, and it's will the E-mini break the 1250 area? Now, when you go, one of the characteristics of trading range markets, and we're getting whipped around, and it's difficult to appreciate what a a choppy trading range market can do. But the people that are in charge of getting stops outside the obvious in price discovery are exchange members, and they know how to do this. So you're in a trading range. Things look pretty bright. You can see right here that the market closed strong. Next day, can't take out the top. It comes down, closes weak. Next day, goes and gets stops beneath that level. Closes in the middle, comes up. Friday, we get stops above that level, comes down on a weak close. The overnight session on Friday's high. So things look pretty bright when you're at the top. Things look pretty bad when you're at the bottom. But essentially, the market is moving sideways. And you just have to keep that in mind. How can I sell it up here? It's too high. And if you've made the trading range call, then it sets up naturally for you. Obviously, you have to be sophisticated enough to do that. So getting stops beneath Friday's low, that is a potential trading target. Then if we were to get that, maybe getting stops beneath this low, and then turn back and bring the market into this range. European central banks and the Fed. Took a while for Europe to get on, but are monetizing their stock markets. And it's their hope that the banks that are deemed too large to fail, those that are in the most trouble, will be able to rebuild their balance sheet in the U.S. through trading. We see the influence of the Fed when our market is really selling, when the 50-lot player or more gets involved. And you wouldn't do that with your own money, but if it's the Fed's money, you would do that. So this trading range scenario, which is where I think we are in the note 2, getting stops above Friday's high, is where I think this market can go. Then we'll have to pick it up from there. Got to get through 12 first, and we haven't made it. Okay, back to the note. You have the selling at about 6 this morning. Now, for those of you, Ireland, the UK, the EU, if you just can't sleep, making a trading range call is not too difficult to do. If you looked at the F2 screen, you got sellers at 12, you got buyers below 24. So near resistance is 12. We make it to 10. And here you get your RTF set up with deceleration. And you could have been short in the as low as 7 area to as high as 9. Market sells. Comes back down here. RTF. That's a bold call. You're calling a higher market right there, and it gets back up to almost the value area high. And then here we have an RTF, and you're short again in the 6.5 or 7 area. And the market has traded back down. So biggest thing we have going against the shorts is right here, but that's not a number that's pretty easily overcome. And you can see that from this point on, the volume has gone to the sell side for the entire market. But the net cumulative buying is still with the big players. Okay, what's changed in Europe for the E-mini? Not much if you think about it. Last week the whole deal was Italy's new government will be able to change things. Will they? It won't be done easily. Uh, I mean, the bottom line in these countries is the same thing in the United States. They're spending $1 plus for every dollar they take in, and they've made the shortfall up with debt, and they can't sell their debt anymore. So if you're looking at, let's kind of just split the difference. Greece is supposed to be $1.50 for every dollar that comes in. The United States is $1.40 for every dollar that comes in. I don't know exactly where Italy's is, but somewhere north of $1. Now you can no longer borrow money. So these 20 to 50% shortfalls. If you can't borrow it, you can't get it from somebody, then you got to cut your spending. It's pretty simple. And that is a huge number if you think about it. And that leads to severe economic contraction or the printing of money, which they can't do. So it's not an easy problem to resolve. And their constituents will not go quietly into the night. In fact, they'll probably be raising Cain, making a lot of noise at night and breaking things if history repeats itself. So it's a tough issue, and it's very, very difficult to resolve. There's 73 to 75. Here's 70. The last rotate up here was 64. $65. It's actually 63 to 65. And here we find ourselves at 57. So when we broke 60, that's where we sit. We've got our breakout right here, this single prince, and we know that they like to get at least 50% into this, and they've done it. So what can support today's market? Buy orders in the queue, trades on upticks. If we're in a trading range, we went above Friday's highs, so getting stops down here beneath 35, I think is, if we can't rally it today, I think ultimately that's where we end up, is down here in this 30 to 35 area. So want to get short first to see if we can take out the overnight session low and see if we got a shot at our 35 to 40. And if we don't, then we'll come back and we'll take a look at it. Okay, looking at the F4 screen. Now, it is Monday morning and there's no news to drive the market, so things may take a while to get going. It's pretty typical. Looking at this screen, we've got the main green line is ticking lower. Well, this confirms the selling. First shot you have at getting short in a trending market is against the value area low. Sets up a nice trade. We make a new low right here, but you can see that we've lost some momentum. And you got a failed auction right here. And when you take out that bar's high, that's when you should cover your shorts. And if you've taken a trade right here, you're long in the 55 area, and so far we've traded up to what, 57, so you're a couple, 3 or 4 ticks above. The 50 lot players minus 671, that's 1 bar. The rest of the market is minus 16,500. So it'd be nice to be able to get short in this area, the green line. That's what we're leaning against with our first sell call, but we'll see if we can get there. May take 57s, 56s, 57s to get in. It's hard to say. There is no news to drive this morning's trading, so we're liable to kind of chop around and see which way we're going, and maybe Bill Thomas's 10 a.m. trade is the first one that sets up for us. We'll just have to see. Monday mornings can take a couple hours before the market tips its hand. Okay, we'll go back and we'll watch the note. The note's trading at 01, which suggests that the E-mini might be trading a little bit higher here. Didn't get a shot at the short at our levels. So we'll see what happens in the 24-28 area if we can find support band down there. Any questions? I'll be here.